All right, Axis and Allies, 1914 World War One board game. This is part two of strategy. I think I ended up leaving off down here in Africa with the German troops. Basically, you just need to take the free IPCs that you can get, but eventually you're going to be pushed out of here because the Brits are going to, on their turn, kind of take back countries, and then you got the French coming south here. And if the French player is smart, he'll use his two fleets here because he doesn't have much to do with them, and he will like take Portugal and stuff like that. But eventually, he'll come down here and drop off some troops, and you don't really have a future down here with Germany in Africa. But on the first couple turns, go ahead and grab up some IPCs. All right, so the next country that goes is France, and your main enemy is Germany. You really don't have to deal with Austria-Hungary or Turkey way over there. So you just really need to keep building infantry and artillery, and maybe another plane. Don't add to your fleet. You don't need to do that. Really, down here in the Mediterranean, Allies really have a nice hold on it. You got a huge fleet, the Italians do, and the British have a couple ships, and the British could even pull up these from India. All the Central Powers have is two cruisers here by Turkey, and then a battleship and a cruiser with a transport from Hungary. But I really don't think these guys are going to move because of the sea mines and to equal force right here. And if they do, then fine. Then you can move over here with your guys and finish them up. So you don't really need to worry about the Mediterranean with them dropping off troops. I don't think that would ever happen. But with France, same kind of thing down here in Africa. I believe you want to send a couple of these guys this way and help defend Egypt against Turkey. And then these other guys, you want to start pushing south. You probably want to use this transport and pick up these two guys right here on the coast. Come down here and take Portugal for free. Grab up some troops for free. And it's up to you whether you want to keep coming back here and dropping them off, or if you want to go south. I think I would go south and get rid of the Germans down here. I think that's the move to do. And a lot of, IPCs you can stop Germany from getting down there. So that's one of your things that you really need to do with France. But besides that, like I said, you just really need to build up because you just got to deal with Germany. You don't want to lose Paris, but Paris is 3 countries away from the front lines. So, I don't think the German player is really going to advance on turn 1. So when you get to turn 1, you should still have these same lines. And then you can push all these troops to either Belgium or here. And, just get your front lines going. Hopefully the Italian player doesn't get busted up by Hungary down there too bad. And eventually, I think the German player should take Switzerland. So you're gonna still have to defend this country. But I think it's really easy to play with France. France is one of the easier ones because, like I said, you only have to deal with Germany. And to deal with them, you just got to build troops and put them on the front lines. I don't think you will really ever get pushed back. If you do, you're just getting pushed back to more of your troops because all your new troops come here into Paris. And but you definitely want to try to hold Belgium, or at least get a good force here to defend from Germany, from Belgium. But I think Belgium is so key to own for France because if you don't own that, then he has access to 2 countries. In this game, that's huge. I really think if you own Belgium, then you cut off all your back countries here. You don't really have to worry about it. So if you own Belgium, then you don't have to worry about nothing. And then he's going to constantly have to defend this country right here, which is worth 6. So I really think that's huge. There's not too much strategy with France. Like I said, it's very easy. You just want to build up and take these African colonies down here with your fleet. And I would say that's about it. Okay, now the British Empire. Like always, British is all the way across the world, and they got a lot going on. Okay, start off with up here, you get a nice fleet. You got a battleship, 2 cruisers, and a transport. But, you really want to just keep them right there. You don't want to move them, because the key to having them right there is you can drop off troops right in Belgium. You might want to buy, depending on what the German player does with these 2 subs, if he attacks and ends up killing this fleet, then, you can't really do nothing. But if you can, you want to get this, if the German player doesn't attack these guys, you do want to get these guys over here and add to that. But if you can't, no big deal. Just buy you another transport over here. And you want to be unloading, at least 4. Eventually I would want to have like 3 transports there. And start unloading those guys in Belgium. Because you really need to help out France with the Germans. Okay, and then you do have some troops over here in Canada. So hopefully your guys don't get wiped out. And you can, maybe move them over little by little. And but if they do, no big deal. Get with the American player. Maybe he'll build enough transports, and you can move your guys down here to America, and he can load them up. But it'll be turn 4 by the time you get them. But that's the main goal up here in by your homeland in Britain. You just want to drop off troops in Belgium. That's really your only goal. I don't think you ever have to worry about getting invaded from the sea by the Germans. They don't start with a transport. They probably should buy one eventually. But with the sea mines there and with 2 cruisers and a battleship, I think you're pretty well defended. Even though he does have 2 subs there. And he can get these subs there. So it just depends on what he does. If they did something crazy like that and took out your fleet, then yeah, that changes everything. You just need to defend London. Build a lot of troops and artillery. Down here in Africa with the British, like I was saying with the Germans, they're going to be taking countries. You need to be taking countries right back. So, like, if they move out of here and go there, then you move here and take this one, Same thing with this guy. And these guys over here, you got nothing to do with them. So just come over here and take these 3 countries. So if, like, this German guy goes here, then you go there. It's common sense things, Just get you some IPCs down there. And then Egypt is very important because eventually Turkey doesn't have much to do. Once this little area gets all claimed by Central Powers, which it will, Turkey doesn't have much to do but to build and send troops this way and send troops here to Egypt. So I really think it's a very smart idea to leave these troops that you have right here. You can attack if you wanted to Transjordan, but I really don't think that's a smart idea because like in this game, it takes you one move to move one country. So like all these troops he's got here or here, it'll be 1 turn to get him here, and then 2 turns. Okay, so on turn 2, he could be here battling, killing your whole stack, or you could leave him there and wait till turn 3 for him to actually attack you. So that gives you 3 turns to possibly counter that by loading up troops here in India with your transport and coming just 2 sea zones here and unloading them. Okay. So and with this little fleet, I would definitely take it down here and get it with the other fleet. That gives you 2 transports to send troops up. Okay. Let me get around here so you can see it a little bit better. Now Arabia is a free country for you. So you definitely want to drop off troops into it from the transport over here in India. Take it over. And, if you can, you want to possibly have a big force there, because what it does is it really messes up the Turkey player. It opens up their belly. They have to all of a sudden defend 3 countries. And I don't think they will for long. If you do take Arabia, I really think they're going to attack you because they just can't afford to allow you to own that. Because like I said, they can't defend 3 countries. But what you can do against Turkey is, like I was saying, you could attack with this Egypt to Jordan, and then with this transport, maybe take 1 man from here and come down and unload in Arabia, and all of a sudden you get 2 troops down there. And then over here, you could load up and eventually start attacking this country, which is worth 3. So if you had like combat going here and here, and then you own this one, all of a sudden Turkey's in a world of shit because they got a lot going on. And then you can throw in the fact that Russians are right here and they could come into this battle. So, as far as Turkey, if you leave them alone, they can hold you off. Because that's, the British can build here in India, if you didn't know. You can build as many troops as you want. Now, that's a major thing, and you can continuously load up troops. If you do move this other transport and you'll have 2 transports, you can constantly unload into this country because the sea zone touches it. But you do want to take Persia eventually. It's free 2 IPCs after you take out the 4 units. So, you want to own this, and then you can keep building troops and then keep dropping them off and, keep moving troops up. And you're really going to be a thorn in the side of Turkey. So that's long term what you want to do. You want to keep sending troops here and really keep them busy so they're not able to go north and hurt the Russians or go into Africa real strong. So I really think Turkey's in a world of shit if everybody works together. If the Russians come down, if you're pressuring them here and you're coming from Egypt, I really think that they're in a bind. They don't get a lot of IPCs, so you can really distract them and keep them busy for many turns. And eventually you do want to take Afghanistan because Russia's not going to, so you want to take that. It's only 2 troops you got to attack to get 1 IPC. You might lose a couple, units, but eventually it'll pay for itself. I've always been a type of guy, if you lose an infantry just to get a 1 IPC country, it's worth it. Not as far as dollar value, but, the more IPCs you're getting per turn, the better off you're going to be. Who cares if you lost an infantry guy that cost you 3? I really just believe in getting countries because what you got to think about is once you own Afghanistan, they will not ever, be able to take it back. They would have to take Persia first and then that, which wouldn't happen because you're going to keep building troops here. And if they did, take Persia, you can keep attacking them and, constantly have them engage in combat where they would never be able to move in there. So just moves like that eventually will pay for itself. So overall with the British, I really think you should focus a lot in defending Egypt. You don't want to give that up. Because if Turkey ever comes down here with a large force, then they can just start spreading out and taking, I think there's about 15 IPCs down in Africa. You don't want them to just go crazy down through there and start getting rich. And so you want to take Persia and Afghanistan and then start using your 2 transports here to unload into this country. And at the same time defending Egypt. That'll keep Turkey busy. You don't want them to get too powerful. And then, like I said, up here with the British, all you're wanting to mainly do is just drop off in Belgium and help defend Germany. But if Germany has a big force in Belgium, no problem. You can drop off troops from the same Z-zone in this next country right there. You definitely don't want to lose that one if you're French because that's right next to Paris. So British definitely need to be unloading there, if anything. All right, so what's next? The Ottoman Empire. Okay. Should have stayed over there. All right, with you, you're in a tough fucking spot because you're surrounded by British, right? Okay, and then you got the Russians next to you. And also you got the Italians that are kind of close. They could do something kind of crazy if maybe they added a transport or something to their fleet. they could go into Albany and get it for free, and then maybe take Greece, or just take Greece from the sea. It really depends. Greece is very important for you. I really think Turkey has to own Greece because the capital is right there and it's connected. This is the same zone right there. Even though there's water in between, it's the same zone. So Greece touches the capital. So I really think it's very important that you own Greece. And you definitely want to take Bulgaria because it's free. You just move into it and get the 3 IPCs. And Hungary should be taking Romania. If, nothing else is going on, I guess you could move up in there, but I really don't think that's a smart thing. You don't have the troops to go after Russia. I really don't think you do. You have to deal with the British. That's what your whole focus is with Turkey. So take Greece. Depending on what Hungary does, take Albany, if they don't. But you don't want to leave Greece like undefended where the Italians can just unload into it. So you got to keep it, kind of defended. But it's very important because it's next to your capital, like I said. You eventually want to take Arabia. You cannot afford the Allies to own that. You have to take it. And you have to defend it. It's better to defend that one than 3 of them. So you want to defend that. And Transjordan, I would say get a big force here, and let's see what he does with his Egypt force. If he keeps it there, then fine, it's a stalemate, then stay there. Eventually, I think you'll have a force to overtake it because he can't really add to that unless he's bringing transports over there and unloading. Which, if he's doing that, then fine, then you can, come this way and build up. But this is going to be the big battle. You're going to constantly have a battle for this country right here with the Brits. Because they are going to take this. It's common sense to take that. So you really need to hold off the Brits right here. You can't lose this country. And, try to build up some troops for Transjordan so you can get into Africa. Because that's what you want to do. You want to get into Africa and start getting taking over all those ones. You should, once you get Egypt, you should start coming this way and maybe send 1 or 2 that way. And, try to, grab up these little ones. Because eventually you'll, be getting IPCs. It's very important. Now, in my game, the Russian player was really scared because Hungary and Germany was pushing forward. So the Russian player ended up moving these troops north to Ukraine, which left this wide open. If he does that, great. Then move up at least 1 infantry and get that 3 IPCs. And I think that was a bad move by the Russians. I don't think a good player would do that. But we'll just have to see. But, if it's open, then take it, obviously. But for the most part, you need to defend against India. And if you can, take it. But I don't see you being able to do that, anybody. But if you can, you can. I just think you should have enough troops here to defend and then start getting an offensive force here in Transjordan so you can get into Egypt, into Africa, and start getting more IPCs. And then maybe you can help out with either taking India or taking out the Russians. Okay? Next, the Italians. The Italians are nothing in this game. They're very small. They really don't have much control over, anything. These troops that you start with right here, I would probably either move them to Egypt to help defend it, or just load them up with your transport and just drop them off, somewhere up through here. Just get them on the front lines. And the German player should take Switzerland. Not a big deal. I wouldn't attack it. I would just defend here. But the main thing is you definitely want to defend this country right here, Vince. So, but I really think if it's a smart player, a decent player, Hungary's going to take that. Okay? So what you need to defend is this country right here. which is fine. It's right by your capital, but I don't think you'll ever lose it because you'll be building some troops and being able to move them up. And, don't worry about this fleet. It doesn't touch Rome. It doesn't actually touch the capital. It only touches this country. Try to get on camera. This country and that country. So you don't have to worry about that fleet just yet, to start off with. But there's not much to do as far as strategy with the Italians. Basically, you're just trying to hold on to your capital. Try to hold on to your land. I guess you could load up, these guys or this one and come here and unload in Albany and, get you some free units and free IPCs. And, that will kind of slow down Hungary maybe, because then they would have to pay attention to you down here, but they eventually will kill you out of there unless you get lucky. And you could do something crazy. You could, start adding to your fleet and getting another transport or so and just dropping off troops here in Albany, or depending on what Turkey does with Greece. If you own Greece, that's huge because you're threatening the capital. And then if they're having to leave troops here in their capital to defend it, then that means the Brits are pushing up, and they're not going after Egypt. So that's really good. But for the most part, Italians just need to hold on. It's a very boring country to play. There ain't much to do. You're just holding on. And you got to definitely work with the French player and get your front lines defended. You got to work with them hands in hands. And then the last country is America. There's nothing freaking do with America. They don't get in the war until turn 4. You really can't move aggressively, towards Europe. If you get attacked, you're in the war, but nobody's going to attack you before turn 4. It'd be just really stupid of them. And so I would just build up troops, artilleries and not tanks, but infantry and artillery, and then a whole bunch of transports. I think by turn 4, you're not going to have those subs anywhere near, and this will be pretty clear over here all the way to France or Britain. You just want to load up transports and send troops over little by little, but really you're not in the war. That's probably the worst country to play with. It is America. Second worst being Italy. Just as far as you can't do much. I would think the hardest country to play with is Germany. Kind of like always, you got to balance yourself on which country to attack, and because you got so many enemies coming after you. But anyway, like I said in part 1, this is the strategy after seeing 2 games being played and playing one of them. And I'll probably do another video later on as I learn more stuff and what moves, kind of work and what, doesn't work in the long term. But I appreciate y'all checking out the video, and I hope this helped a little bit if you've never played the game. So, deuces.